What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf Mega Fortnite Tactical Shotgun, or TS. This blaster by Nerf is a spring-powered pump-action blaster with an internal magazine shooting mega darts, but despite its name, it's just one at a time. Still an interesting blaster. Let's get into the review. Included is the blaster, detached shell component, darts, and the instructions. External overview of the blaster, starting up with the front. This is just a cosmetic muzzle. It is not a barrel attachment lug. And this thing is also just cosmetic, in case you're wondering. Most of this shell is cosmetic because it is based on a toy from the Fortnite video game. Up front is the priming handle. The priming handle is all of this red thing. The whole thing moves back, which is kind of strange. It's usually just the lower half, but this thing is a wraparound priming handle. The prime stroke itself is pretty smooth and it has a reasonable draw compared to other Mega Blasters, but the grip isn't that easy to hold on to. It doesn't have a stop bar in the back to ram your hand into, so you have to grip pretty hard on the side. If you're just a Fortnite guy and you're not a Nerfer, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's cool. But if you're a real Nerfer and you shoot this a few hundred times and this is like your primary in a battle, it'll get a little exhausting to prime it by the end of the day. But that is the priming handle, and after you prime the blaster back, it exposes the magazine, which is right here. This magazine feeds much like the Mega Magnus, so you just push the Mega Darts in like that. The internal magazine holds 4 rounds. And loading the darts in is pretty simple. If you've never experienced a magazine like this, it's a little different, but if you've loaded the Mega Magnus, it's the same thing. You just shove in your 4 darts and you're ready to go. Continuing the overview, over here we have a reset button, which is pretty much the norm in most Nerf blasters nowadays. The reset button allows you to override the lock that prevents you from priming twice to clear a jam or malfunction. I did not experience any of those types of jams with this blaster, but the reset button is there just in case you need it. And moving back, we have this little green thing which comes detached for shipping purposes. And once you attach it, it doesn't do anything. It just looks like that. I think it's a reference to the video game gun. I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know. Nor do I care. I am so sick of hearing about this video game. Moving down to the trigger pull feels nice, pretty normal. This blaster does have slam fire, which means you can hold down the trigger, and when the priming handle hits the forward position, it fires automatically, which increases rate of fire slightly. Now down to the grip. The grip size is overall pretty comfortable. It's actually bigger than most elite grips, which are comfortable for adults, but the back ledges here are relatively sharp, and I believe that's because this is modeled after a virtual gun from a video game, not a real thing that somebody touches. Graphic designers tend to cut corners, or actually not cut corners because this isn't filleted. Get it? Like filleted? Fillet? Ah. It's not my favorite grip, but it works, and at the end of the day, no real Nerfer is actually going to buy this blaster, so it doesn't really matter. Spoiler! Back to the stock. This is a fixed stock that's not removable or adjustable. It is what it is. It's relatively short, but it works with the overall ergonomics of the blaster, and up top we have some ammo storage. You can pull up on this little tray, and it has a little pit in there. And you can actually fit 4 Mega Darts in that little chamber for an extra reload, because the capacity is 4. That is the external overview of the Fortnite Tactical Shotgun. Let's see it fire. Shooting regular red Mega Darts. And lay slam fire. Now shooting a few Mega AccuStrike darts. So much more accurate. And lay slam fire. Operating the blaster went as expected. I did not have any jams or malfunctions. The pump mechanics are pretty smooth and slam fire worked pretty well, so no complaints mechanically speaking. To compare the blaster to other Mega Blasters, I put it up in my chronograph and achieved an average velocity of 75 feet per second, which is pretty much right in line with the other Mega primaries available right now. No jams or malfunctions, pretty smooth prime action, and solid firing performance, so overall, pretty solid blaster. No objective reason to avoid purchasing this one. That's all of the objective information on the Fortnite Mega TS, not of my personal opinion. Overall, the blaster does what it advertises to do. It shoots average firing velocity. I did not have any jams or malfunctions, and the ergonomics work fairly well. That being said, I can't think of a single situation where I'd actually want to use this blaster in a Nerf war. The Cyclone Shock is smaller, easier to use because it's a pistol and little, has 2 extra dart capacity, 6 compared to the 4, and it's cheaper and easier to use. It's just an overall better blaster. You don't make a pistol really big, decrease the capacity, and make it slower to use. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So the buy or not to buy recommendation from me, I can only see Fortnite enthusiasts really wanting to buy this. Real Nerfers would just buy the Cyclone Shock, or the Magnus if you really like this feeding mechanism for some reason. The Magnus only holds 3 darts, but that's 3 compared to 4. It's much smaller and a whole lot cheaper. If you can still find a Magnus, I don't know if they still sell those. But if you're gonna go to that size, you might as well go to the Cyclone Shock for double the capacity. Come on, guys. So the blaster does what it's trying to do. There are just much better options out there that are cheaper, higher capacity, just in every way better. There's just no advantage to using this blaster unless you're really, really into Fortnite. But come on, when you saw this blaster, you knew I wasn't gonna like it. I don't really shoot Mega Blasters that often, especially inefficient, gigantic ones that remind me of the silly video game. So I can't recommend this to anybody, but there's no objective reason to avoid it. It doesn't jam or malfunction, the ergonomics are solid, and the mechanics work just fine. So I'll just leave it at that. I've laid out all the information for you to make an educated purchase decision. If you'd like to buy one, I'll put a buy link in the description box below. That concludes this video. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.